FromSoft just dropped a new patch 1.14 for Elden Ring, and with that came a number of buffs to certain weapons, along with some nerfs to bosses, specifically the final boss Concert Radahn. Now, this was a long time coming. I'm more surprised that it didn't come sooner, specifically with Radahn and Gaius in particular. I know Gaius last patch got a change where he starts at the beginning of the arena. He starts further back instead of just immediately on you. And with this patch, Radahn ended up getting a nerf to quite a few things. So as of right here, change the action pattern when the battle starts. This is referring to the gravity spike that he does at the beginning of each battle. I noticed that in the recent time of playing, I just played through a lot of the DLC just in a matter of an hour. I got all the way up to Radahn, and I noticed that when you go through the fog wall, he doesn't immediately always start with the gravity spike that he usually does, at least did previously. So I think that's an interesting change. I don't really think it was necessary because it wasn't really that difficult to dodge, so I didn't really see a point in changing it. I guess it does give the player more time to get into the battle. Yeah, I guess. They also adjusted some of his attack moves. So the ones I noticed is, of course, the 3 cross slash, which is the one that everybody's been talking about. But another one I've seen that nobody's really been mentioning is his meteor. Now, when he jumps up into the air, his meteors don't seem like they have as heavy tracking. The tracking on them is a lot looser. It's a lot easier to be, you don't have to be as far away to dodge them as you had to been like previously. So you can actually just kind of go halfway and then just jump out the way, which I mean, I'm not personally upset about. I mean, it's fine. Does it make the fight any easier? Not really. Because usually if you weren't further enough, you would just basically guaranteed to get hit, which was more annoying than anything else. I don't think that it really adds or takes away to the difficulty. They also decrease some of the damage of his attacks, which I don't know which ones. To me, when I was playing, they all kind of felt like they still hit just as hard. I didn't really notice anything. Maybe it could have been the light effects. I was using the Obsidian, I forgot the name of it, but I was using the one Obsidian Scythe, the new one. And I actually got stun locked when I got hit by the light. So that seemed pretty normal to me. I don't know. Another thing they did was decrease the stamina damage of some attacks, decrease the attack range of some non-weapon based attacks. I don't really know what this is either, and maybe it's referring to the light pillars or something. I still continue to get hit by the very tip of his swords, and I also still continue to get hit by the hilt. Me personally, I thought that was a bug, or like that was not intended, but they still have not fixed it despite it still happening. Even in my recent time beating him just a few minutes ago for, you know, footage for this video, I still keep getting hit by the hilt despite dodging out the way. It's really bizarre. And then the last thing they nerfed, or well, improved, is the visibility of some attack effects, which, you know, that's obviously the light when Mikola does his nuke blast, his light blast. This is fine, the improved visibility. I didn't really think it was a problem, at least for the Mikola nuke blast. I didn't think it was that much of a problem. In terms of increasing visibility, you would think that would be his hair. it would be his hair, or maybe the light effects that come from each swing of Radahn's sword. But to me, I didn't notice. I know for sure they didn't improve the visibility of Mikola's hair, and I know they did. I feel like they didn't improve the ones on his sword attacks either. So it does kind of make me wonder what they really improved outside of just the blast, because it says some attack effects, but I didn't really notice any outside of just the big nuke blast like usual. Now, something I do want to discuss is, was this necessary? Did Radahn need a nerf? Did Radahn need a nerf? And because I've seen, like, of course, as per usual on Twitter, seen people saying how this is making the boss easier. Was this patch necessary? No, but was it a nice quality of life change? Yes. For instance, the 3 triple slash, that was very difficult to avoid. I know it is possible. I don't want people screaming saying it was. I know it was. You try to get furthest to the left and dodge through the initial cross. That is a good, I personally think by slowing up that cross slash, it still is difficult to avoid, because the initial output of the attack, the startup is really fast. it's a very fast attack that if you're not paying attention, you're still gonna get hit by. Maybe not the full combo, but you will get hit by the first one or even the subsequent second one if you're not paying attention, really focused on what he's doing. I just think that by slowing and delaying this, I think it's just better designed, I guess, so to speak. Radahn and Gaius feel like they were very underbaked. They felt like bosses that they had an idea of what they wanted to do, but by the time the DLC rolled around, I just don't think they had enough time to do these nerfs that they're doing now. And I think a partial amount of this is coming from fan feedback. I think that they were, again, I think they were very undercooked bosses that needed more time to bake in general, because you compare them to something like Romina, where I think that is a fantastically designed boss. I think that is one of FromSoft's best in terms of choreographing. There's a sort of synergy that Souls always has with their bosses, that you're always able to at least understand the rhythm. There are some where there's delay attacks. Elden Ring in particular has a lot of those. But at the end of the day, not a single base game boss in Elden Ring had me questioning how I got hit or why something is coming out super fast or anything like the DLC. The DLC, I think, has a lot of problems in that respect. That can be an entire another video to talk about. But in general, I think Radahn and Gaius definitely needed more time to cook. So them releasing these patches, I think, are good because they're ironing out the inconsistencies. Because at the end of the day, you want a consistent fight. I'm sure as a developer and I'm sure as the player, you want to experience a consistent fight. You don't want something that's like, you don't know why you got hit. And for example, I've fought in Consort Radahn at upwards of 6 to 7 times, probably more now. Even today, I just beat Consort Radahn on 3 different files. On my Leda sword, on my Obsidian sickle, I still can't remember the name of that scythe, and on my backhand blades. I just beat Radahn 3 times today in a matter of only about 2 hours this morning. So I personally can say that by adding these additions, did it make the boss any easier? I mean, for someone like me who already had an idea of how to beat him and already am pretty decent at him, sure, it was easier, I guess, but I think these were necessary things to do. And I feel like if you're somebody who already is like really good at Elden Ring, you probably already beat him before. If you're even a decent, mildly decent person who wanted to finish the DLC, you probably already finished it like a month or 2 ago when it first came out. I don't think this nerf is a bad thing at all. I hardly even want to call it a nerf because it's more of a quality of life improvement. It's improving a boss that clearly had a lot of rough around the edges, and you're ironing them out. You're honing it to make it a better experience for players like me. I personally like to run through Elden Ring at least once a month or so because I can do a run in a matter of only a few hours. It's nothing to me. So by ironing out Radahn and Gaius and bosses like that who are and aren't consistent with their attacks, I think it's good that they're doing this. So for people like me who do runs pretty frequently. But to me, this patch is more for people who are still running to this game to this day. And that's good. But all in all, despite what people are saying and whatever, and if someone's complaining about it, well, it's not, to me, this was a very necessary addition. And I think that if they decided to do further nerfs or further adjustments to both Gaius and Radahn in particular, the 2 who I've been mentioning, I think that's a welcome call for them to make and to do, because I think those are the 2 bosses that were easily the most undercooked and most disappointing, to be honest, of the DLC. Especially considering how cool, for instance, Radahn is lore-wise. I think it's an amazing fight, but I think the fight itself is very dreadful. But anyways, I just wanted to give my thoughts on the matter. It would mean the absolute world to me if you would like and comment your thoughts on the matter, and also subscribe if you would like to see more videos like this, because I do actually have some upcoming ones coming. They're more longer form, they're different, let's just say, than what I've been previously making. So if you're interested in that or would be interested in what I cover now, just make sure to like and subscribe. But anyways, all that out the way, I hope you all have a wonderful day and see you later.